During the final decades of the Galactic Republic, a male of the Chiss species was born on the planet of Scylla, and while Mithra Nuruodo and his brother Mithras Saphis grew up as mere commoners, they both proved skilled in their own ways, with Mithras Saphis going into politics and rising to the rank of Syndic, while Mithra Nuruodo used his tactical brilliance to join the Chiss Expansionary Defense Force, quickly reaching the rank of Force Commander. Their achievements were noticed by the ruling families of the government, and so both brothers were made merit adoptives of the Myth family, also known as the 8th ruling family of the Chiss ascendancy. Mithra Nuruodo, or Thrawn as he would come to be known in the core worlds, continued his impressive rise to power, becoming the youngest to ever reach the rank of commander. His success led the 8th ruling family to raise him further in status, becoming trial-born, meaning he was eligible to become a permanent member of the family. During much of his time with the Defense Force, Thrawn commanded the combat cruiser Springhawk and explored many areas within the unknown regions, becoming the first known Chiss to make contact with humans when he saved the light freighter Bargain Hunter from a pirate attack. Through the use of the trade language Sea Bisti, Thrawn was able to communicate with them, befriending them somewhat and learning basic from their interactions. Sometime later, Thrawn received word about a Vagari ship near Chiss space, a species known for piracy and slavery who had been pillaging the area outside Chiss borders for a decade. He then ordered the Springhawk to pursue the vessel, defeating and boarding their ship, discovering a great deal of treasure looted from various worlds. Thrawn tried to use this as evidence to convince the Chiss government to send more ships against the Vagari, but was instead chastised for his preemptive strike philosophy since it went against his species' moral code. Undeterred and unwilling to allow the Vagari to continue raiding unopposed, Thrawn ignored the wishes of the ruling families, even willing to risk his status within society. He then engaged the enemy again, capturing one of their gravity well projectors, so it might be studied and used against them. But having lost some of his men during the confrontation, the event was reported to the ruling families, who again admonished Thrawn for his actions. Still unrepentant and eager to eliminate the Vagari threat once and for all, he embraced an opportunity that presented itself when he encountered a convoy of ships from the Trade Federation in the unknown regions. Though they outnumbered and outgunned Thrawn's forces, the Chiss commander was able to use his tactical wisdom to utterly defeat the enemy ships without suffering even a single casualty. Boarding the main ship, he soon discovered they were representatives of Chancellor Palpatine, leader of the Galactic Republic, also known as Dark Lord Sidious. They told him they were sent on a mission to destroy the Jedi ship Outbound Flight, which sought to explore beyond the galaxy. This had to be stopped because of a group of potential enemies known as the Far Outsiders, who were amassing forces at the edge of the galaxy in preparation for a massive invasion. If these hostile aliens were to capture the Outbound Flight, they might learn of the Republic, placing them in great danger, and so Lord Sidious had decided the ship must be destroyed. Thrawn even spoke to the Dark Lord directly, confirming the story. Sidious was impressed with Thrawn's military abilities, and so ordered his men to share their intelligence about Outbound Flight and the Far Outsiders, while Thrawn agreed to help stop the Jedi ship before it could leave their space. At the same time, he used his human ally, Cardass, to feign betrayal and lead the Vagari to attack Thrawn's position, even gifting the enemy some battle droids. But the Chiss commander orchestrated events so that the Vagari would attack at the same time Thrawn's fleet confronted the Outbound Flight, causing his enemies to attack each other and allowing for his forces to slip in and do massive damage. In addition, the battle droids Cardass had given the Vagari turned against them in the midst of battle, killing the Vagari leaders on board their flagship. When Thrawn contacted Jedi Master Joruus C'baoth, commander of the Outbound Flight, asking him to surrender, the Force user refused, then using his powers to force choke Thrawn. Defense Force soldiers quickly responded, reassigning vessels to emit heavy radiation onto the Jedi's ship, killing Joruus C'baoth and breaking the Force choke threatening Thrawn. And while their quick thinking saved his life, the event also gave time for the remaining Vagari vessels to escape. They were then visited by Chaform Bintrano of the 5th ruling family, who they suspected had come to reprimand Thrawn and possibly confiscate the Outbound Flight's technology for himself. And so Thrawn's brother, Mithras Saphis, also known by his core name Thras, flew the ship away before it could be seized, thereby giving Thrawn a bargaining chip he could use to avoid punishment from the government. Unfortunately, however, the Outbound Flight was not heard from again for many years, and with the loss of the ship, Thrawn's brother Thras also disappeared. Over the next few years, Chancellor Palpatine contacted his new Chiss ally a number of times, attempting to enlist his aid. Thrawn, fed up with the politics of his people and eager to work for Palpatine, then decided to orchestrate his own downfall, continuing his preemptive strikes against Chiss enemies, until eventually stripped of all rank and status within the ruling families, exiled to a primitive and isolated world in the unknown regions. Surviving there for a time, he eventually escaped on board an Imperial Star Destroyer that came to the planet pursuing a smuggler named Booster Terek. Thrawn used his knowledge of the terrain and tactical brilliance to organize a number of attacks against their encampment, then hiding in a power generator casing to get on board their ship. Yet when he attempted to leave his hiding place, he was captured by Imperials who were monitoring the area. Thrawn, obviously outnumbered and without recourse, quickly surrendered to them, but avoided punishment by greatly impressing Imperial officer Vos Park, who was stunned that the former Chiss commander had been capable of doing so much damage on the planet and infiltrated their ship all on his own. And so Park brought Thrawn back with him to the former Republic, now Empire, presenting him as a gift to Emperor Palpatine, in the hopes it would please the dark-robed leader and make up for their failure to capture Booster Terek. Palpatine indeed was pleased to finally meet Thrawn face to face, and while he publicly insulted him to keep up appearances in the royal court about the government's disdain for non-humans, in truth he was happy to recruit Thrawn into the Empire, with Park acting as his trainer and mentor until beginning his training at the private Imperial Academy of Karita. Although he faced constant discrimination for being non-human, he quickly rose through the ranks, even coming to teach at the academy for a time, before heading back out to further explore the unknown regions, this time with Imperial support, setting up a military presence in the area. Thrawn's ultimate goal was to help Palpatine unite the galaxy together so they might have the strength to resist the far outsiders, threatening the Chiss and so many others. And so, with this goal in mind, he organized a vast network of allies, spies, and contacts throughout the unknown regions, creating a territory known as the Empire of the Hand, ruled by Thrawn. And while he remained loyal to Emperor Palpatine, considering his territory as under the umbrella of the larger Galactic Empire, he administered the region differently, ruling through consent rather than terror, and granting planets and systems far more autonomy. Thrawn's rise to power also came to the attention of the Chiss, and while the ruling families still saw him with disdain, many others rallied to his cause, increasing the size and quality of his forces in the area. A special thanks to all those who contribute to CivilizationEx, like Yormund Crowkiller, Johannes the Juvenile, Arhael the Silent Blade of the Blessed Killers, and Zack of All Trades Trials of the Snowy Sword Brotherhood. If you would like to help CivilizationEx, click on the Patreon link, and please be sure to like and subscribe, and click on the links to see more.